as I've seen upon this earth. Joyous and frivolous. Till the 18th, when father writhed with fever in his bed, and then was taken by cruel thieving death. To my uncle Capulet was I passed. You weigh upon my great years, he said, a burdensome duty left by my brother. Rosaline, said he, I will pay you off with great efficiency by the summer. The day after my father's funeral, uncle unveiled to me an elderly man, an impressive philosopher, he said, of renown for knowledge of botany, happily owner of the next door estate. It took a moment to dawn upon me that this ancient scholar was my suitor. To woo me, he bought pressed flowers. This is Betty Spurge, whose milk doth soothe my warts. A feast was planned to celebrate the match, but my ancient betrothed, filled with good wine, tripped down that steep staircase on his way home and dashed his head upon the stony flags. In morning clothes I dressed the next 3 days, till uncle bought a new prospect in health. The weight of his armour did slow him down as his man heralded him with war drums. When Sir Clank arrived, breathless, before me, he unsheathed his short dagger and proclaimed, with this instrument I have slain countless of men on your innocent behalf. I carveth their name on yond plum tree barks. So might you, when you eateth of their fruit, remember the blood I have slain for your heart. He defiled the blossoming orchard of my uncle for his heart. That same man that brought Sir Clank to Verona fined him for the senseless torture of fruit trees, and on the prince's word was he exiled. Uncle next bought, it seemed to me, 3 men. The man he bought was as wide as 3, and as loud and as hungry as the same. With his uncouth hands ate he our meat, and from the bottle drank he our wine. His drooping moustache, Florentine fad, impeded the clear passage of both. As duty bids, I spoke some words with him. What thinkest thou of last night's full moon? The mouthful of wind I got in reply convinced me to protest to my uncle. Rosaline, Rosaline, 1 veto each is fair, said he. I vetoed Sir Clank, the plum tree vandal, and you, I see, will veto this fat chap.
The next prospect was I bound to marry, but I felt apprehension in my breast. The prospects brought to me by my uncle had, selfish to say, been a shock to receive. Alas, it must be my far advanced years, compared with young Juliet, that deter. I see the glow of my cheeks has begun, like once dewy apples stored till the spring to tarnish in signal of rot beneath. I did not await uncle's next gallant, but entreated the humble Friar John, a barefooted pilgrim of discretion, to find me a cloistered place of prayer. To such a home was I soon to depart, when came, without uncle's due of consent, Romeo, the lovesick, so named by me, for I had oft seen him from my window, seeming to sleepwalk the sycamore grove. He would stop and sigh and sink against the bark. And once did he chance to look up at me, whereupon I felt a bush in my cheeks and shuttered my window in confused haste. With words on swallow wings did Romeo my luckless and orphaned heart assail. when amongst those same trees I happened to walk. Taking my trembling hand in his, he said, with sincere smoothness, direct from his soul, my lips, two blushing pilgrims ready stand, to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss. My knees did near buckle beneath me. My vow of chastity was swept away by a fathomless ocean swell of love. But for men, so says my Aunt Capulet, the chase is all. So hard to get I played. I made show fast of sticking to my word. As I let drop Romeo's hand, I said, with Friar John I am resolved to go. Then loosed he the last shaft in love's quiver. In the sycamore grove, tomorrow eve, shall I await the coming of my rose. 'Twill be most easy to creep to the grove. Was never am I missed at my uncle's feast. All thoughts bend to cousin Juliet. While they eat, to Romeo